Hey, what's up, folks? Good afternoon. Blitzball Champ is here with a new video. Time for some more pro wrestling talk here on the U to the Tube. I know this video's a little bit late. Been crazy busy trying to keep up with the NFL draft. A lot popping there, but just wanted to take some time to go ahead and do this pro wrestling talk. Gonna talk a little bit about Gonna talk a little bit of Stardom, probably not too much, but gonna talk a little bit of Stardom. Gonna talk some New Japan Pro Wrestling. We just got through wrestling Satsuma no Kuni, and we got wrestling Dontaku coming up this week. I believe starting this weekend in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Talk a little bit of AEW, and then of course the usual WWE stuff. So we got quite a bit to get through. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so not really a whole lot has been going on too much with Stardom. I know we recently had an Artist of Stardom trios championship match that went on and at the Sendai show, where the Cosmic Angels defended the titles against Oedo Tai's Natsuko Tora, Fukiken Def, and Konami, which they were able to successfully defeat Oedo Tai and Cosmic Angels. They've been on a roll since becoming the Artist of Stardom champions. You know, they've won each of their defenses. I think this makes four successful defenses, I believe, and I think word is that they've tied the record for most Artists of Stardom successful defenses. I believe. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but Cosmic Angels are on a roll right now. But so now that they've gotten through that, Donna Del Mundo, which I believe Natsupoi, Micah, and Himeka will get the next shot at the Artist of Stardom trios titles. So we can definitely look forward to that. Not sure when that will be, but I'm sure. I don't know if that's going to be before or after they finish up the Cinderella tournament, but but yeah, you can look forward to that pretty much being the next Artist of Stardom title match, with Cosmic Angels defending against Donna Del Mundo. So they've been on a roll. They've definitely been on a roll lately. So this is good. And Mina Shirakawa actually got that pin after reversing a Okana roll from Fukiken Def. So yeah, Mina Shirakawa got the pin for her team. And like I said, Mina Shirakawa, she's been having some great matches lately. So thought it was cool to see her get the victory for her team. And it was also there was also a very weird sequence when we had Queen's Quest Aphrodite, which is Utami Hayashishita, the World of Stardom champion, and Saya Kamitani. They went up against Shuri and Micah. Of course, Shuri is one half of the Goddess of Stardom Tag Team Champions with Julia, and she's also still the current SWA champion. Match went to a 15-minute draw, and afterwards there was a really weird sequence where Shuri got up in Utami's face, like all up in her face, while she was holding up the World of Stardom Championship, and Shuri kissed Utami, like legit, gave her a peck on the lips, and I'm just like, dang, Shuri, you's a freak. But okay, I'll admit it was kind of hot, but it's only because I love Shuri. Shuri's a very attractive woman, but kind of a weird sequence, a really weird sequence. I mean, I wouldn't say it's on par with when Mayu kissed Io Shirai at one time, she flat out had a full on lip lock with her. She dang on tackled her to the ground and just like had a make out session with Io Shirai. So this was kind of different, but this was more like a mind game sort of kiss, I guess. You know, playing mind games. Because I mean, let's face it, Shuri is definitely a big threat, a big threat to Utami's title reign. So it's gonna be interesting when they have their title match. It's gonna be interesting. It'll be a big victory for Utami, or it'll potentially be a dominant victory from Shuri. But then again, if Shuri wins, she'll have three championships. So don't know if they would pull the trigger on that. Because I mean, it's not like Shuri has been defending the SWA title. Like I don't even remember. I think Momo Watanabe was the last person she defended that title against. Yeah, I think that was the last person. No, it was. I think it might have been Natsupoi. Actually, I think it might have been Natsupoi. I think somebody correct me if I'm wrong. It was either Momo or Natsupoi. So yeah, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But but yeah, so that should be interesting. And it's also been announced as well that okay, so they do have scheduled. So to finish up the Cinderella tournament, May 14th will be round two and the quarterfinals of the Cinderella tournament. So that'll be May 14th. So dang, that's actually going to be on the weekend of WrestleMania Backlash. Um, so yeah, that's a Friday. Yeah, that's a Friday. Hey, that's my friend's graduation celebration. Huh. Um, so round two and the quarterfinals will be at Korakuen Hall May 14th. And then May 29th, um, the semifinals and the finals will take place at the Oto Ward Gym. Dang, and that's the weekend of AEW's Double or Nothing pay per view. So dang, those two weekends are gonna be jam packed with pro wrestling goodness. But there you go. May 14th for round two in the quarterfinals. May 29th for the semis and the finals of the Cinderella tournament. So thankfully they've been able to get the rest of that scheduled because I know they had the state of emergency. So and they've still been able to have some shows, just not in certain cities. So so yeah. Um, so I'm pretty sure we'll get to see a little bit more Stardom action leading up to that round two and the quarterfinals of the Cinderella tournament. So definitely keep an eye out. And also wanted to give a shout out. Apparently, Rasi Ogawa, the Stardom executive producer, Rasi Ogawa turned 64. So a happy birthday to him. You know, the big kahuna behind Stardom, or at least one of them. And you know, he's usually ones in title matches to hold the titles, to pose for the pictures, and also present the titles and defense trophies at the end of a match. So, Rasi Ogawa turned 64. Happy birthday to you. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much all that I have for Stardom so far. Like I said, not really too much going on. Like I said, still got to finish up the Cinderella tournament. Had a title match here and there. So so yeah. Okay, moving on. We're gonna move on to some New Japan Pro Wrestling. Gonna quickly go through Wrestling Satsuma no Kuni, um, which was two nights. It was Wednesday and Thursday, April 28th and 29th. So just quickly go through that. So night one, we had the Young Lions in action, plus Tiger Mask. where Yoda Tsuji and Yu Yu Uemura were able to defeat Gabriel Kidd and Tiger Mask. Yoda Tsuji was able to make Gabriel Kidd tap out with the Boston Crab. It was close, but once he was able to get him back to the middle of the ring, that was pretty much it. But and if anything, it's really good to see Tiger Mask back in action. Definitely like Tiger Mask. He's cool. But yeah, mainly first match showcased the Young Lions as expected. Um, this next match, the trios match between Doki, Zack Saber Jr., and Taichi of Suzuki Gun against Bullet Club's Jado and the Gorillas of Destiny. This match did not last long. It came to a disqualification. Both teams had dang on ladders in play, and just this was a chaotic match, which is why it really didn't last. But technically, Gorillas of Destiny got the DQ victory, but it was rather chaotic, and I think only more and more tensions between these two teams, which are pretty much both heel stables, is still brewing quite a bit. So I like it. I like it, but this match just was crazy. There were ladders and all sorts of stuff, and just it didn't last long. It was not a long match at all. All right. We had another trios match afterwards. Had Hiroshi Tanahashi, the never openweight champion, Ryusuke Taguchi, and Master Wato took on and defeated Bullet Club's Gato, Bone Soldier Taiji Ishimori, and Yujiro Takahashi, Tokyo Pimp. Of course, Tanahashi made Gato submit to the Texas Cloverleaf. Of course, totally understand. They got to continue to make Hiroshi Tanahashi look strong as he gets prepared to defend the never open weight title at Wrestling Dontaku against Switchblade Jay White. But decent match overall. I'm still not too sold on Master Wato though. I'm really not. I'm not sold on Master Wato, but some people are. I mean, good for y'all, but I'm not really sold on him. We had an 8-man tag team match that pit United Empire versus Lij. So we had United Empire's Jeff Cobb, Aaron Hanare, the Great O'Karn, and Will Ospreay, of course, who's the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Going up against Lij's Bushi, Sanada, Tetsuya Naito, and Shingo Takagi. I really hate when Bushi has to be the one to take the pin whenever Lij is in a tag match that he's in that they end up losing. Bushi has to take the freaking pin, and I hate it. I really hate it. But he ate a tour of the islands from Jeff Cobb and got the victory for United Empire. I just hate that. I really do. But pretty good match. It lasted a good bit, but I just hate that he always has to be the one to take the pin. But yeah. We had the KOPW provisional blindfold match. It was Creation of Darkness blindfold match, which this was a really wacky match, but it was Toru Yano versus Evil, and they just low blows here, low blows there, blindfolding here, blindfolding there. We even saw the lights go out and the Garrick in use. And of course, Dick Togo was there. But it's definitely what you would have expected in a match like this, especially with Toru Yano in it. But Toru Yano was able to still get the victory. Got a schoolboy after low blow and even turnbuckles, of course, were exposed as well. But yeah, Toru Yano was able to get the victory and retain the KOPW 2021 trophy. Like I said, he's probably not going to lose that trophy anytime soon, or if any time at all. To be honest with you, he's not going to lose that trophy. He's not going to lose that trophy. Let's just keep it real. He ain't going to lose that trophy. um, and then the main event, which was a really good one. I enjoyed this main event. This was for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship as Roppongi 3K, Sho and Yo, made their first defense against Yoshinobu Kanemaru and El Desperado of Suzuki Gun. Of course, El Desperado is the current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. But this was actually a really, really good match. Like, this was back and forth, and just more and more El Desperado's just been showing why he's now a singles champion. And I just tell you, this match is something I really enjoyed, and I've always been high on Roppongi 3K. I don't like their new theme. I really don't like their new theme. I like the old one with Rocky Romero, but Sho and Yo still getting it done. Made their successful defense, hit the strong X on Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and were able to retain. But this was a great high impact match. And then even afterwards, apparently Yo has showed interest in wanting to become a future singles champion. Which doesn't surprise me. I mean, even Sho has done well and has been able to pick up victories in singles matches. But yeah. So it does not surprise me that Yo feels this way. So I mean, I look forward to see what Yo can do as a single star. Sho is not too bad. Let's see what Yo can do. Let's see what Yo can do. Okay, so that was night 1 of Wrestling Satsuma no Kuni. Night 2, hold up. Night 2. Night 2 was started off with Yuya Uemura and Yota Tsuji, so same Young Lions team that won last night, but this time they took on LIJ's Bushi and Sanada, and thankful this time Bushi was able to get the victory first team. So he lost the previous night, but was able to bounce back and get the victory. I mean, yes, I know it was over a Young Lion team, but still redeemed himself. So he was able to get the victory for LIJ in this first match. And, hey, I'm always happy to see Bushi in action. He's my favorite LIJ member because I love the masks. The different masks he has. I just love the masks. But good stuff for LIJ. Next up, we had Trios tag match. Tiger Mask and Roppongi 3K going up against Minoru Suzuki, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and El Desperado of Suzuki Gun. So definitely good to see Minoru Suzuki back in the mix. El Desperado did get the victory for the team via numero dos on Tiger Mask. And, I mean, which is kind of understandable with the booking, considering Roppongi 3K beat them in night 1 for to retain the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles. But yeah, good to see Minoru Suzuki back. Of course, with him being the leader of Suzuki Gun. Just good to see him back in this match. Did his thing. They do what they usually do. Okay, so I got my days mixed up. So it was actually this match upcoming where the match was thrown out because all the ladders and stuff were used. So it was actually night 2 that this happened. So please forgive me on that. Suzuki Gun's Doki, Zack Sabre Jr., and Taichi versus Jado, and Gorillas of Destiny went to a no contest because they pretty much, both teams came out like just beating the crap out of each other. You know, the bell never rung, ladders were being used, all sorts of weapons being used. The pipe that Doki has was being used, and just the match never took off. So at least in the first night there was a match. It just ended in disqualification. So, you know, I had gotten my days mixed up. But it was night 2 that no contest, bell never rung, weapons were used, ladders were used, and it was just a straight up brawl before anything really took off. So, yeah. Um the fourth match was a 8-man tag where Toriyano, Hiroshi Tenzan, Ryusuke Taguchi, and Master Wado went up against Bullet Club's Dick Togo, Taiji Ishimori, Yujiro Takahashi, and Evil. And of course, what are you going to get out of a Toriyano match? You're going to get shenanigans, and got nothing less from that in this match. And of course, he was able to take advantage and get a victory for the team. The match lasted a little bit longer than I thought it would, but doesn't surprise me with the outcome. But yeah, got to give it up to Toriyano. 2 back-to-back victories. Gotta give it up to him. We had a special tag match. LIJ's Tetsuya Naito and Shingo Takagi going up against the Great O-Khan and Will Ospreay of United Empire. And Shingo, with a big statement victory for his team, hitting the last of the dragons on the Great O-Khan for the victory. And of course, you know, Shingo Takagi has a IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match at Wrestling Dontaku. He's got that opportunity against Will Ospreay. And, you know, gotta be honest, Will Ospreay has kind of had Shingo's number lately. So, we'll have to see how Shingo does. I don't see him winning, but he's gonna make it difficult. He's gonna really make it difficult. I'll just say that. Um and then finally to end the night, we had another tag team match. Kota Ibushi and Hiroshi Tanahashi went up against Aaron Hanare and Jeff Cobb of United Empire. Of course, Kota and Tanahashi got the victory, hit a Kamagoye on Aaron Hanare. Honestly, I understand the outcome. I just wish it would not have been Aaron Hanare that took the pin. Because you got to remember, Aaron Hanare, not that long ago, joined United Empire. And, you know, pretty much got repackaged in a way. He got repackaged. And I just really would have felt like maybe Jeff Cobb should have taken this loss than Aaron Hanare. Mainly just because he's new and, you know, is getting re-established again. So I'm okay with the outcome. I think I just would have changed who would have taken the pin in that, me personally. But still, great match. That's just really the only issue that I had. So that's my only thing with that. But that was your Wrestling Satsuma no Kuni. And, you know, just looking at the looking at Wrestling Dontaku. So actually, it starts Monday, May 3rd, and Tuesday, May 4th. So that's Wrestling Dontaku. So let's actually go ahead and look at the match lineup for the both of these. So these will take place in Fukuoka, at the Fukuoka Convention Center. So let's look at the card. So for night 1, first we got an 8-man tag. Master Wado, Tiger Mask, Hiroshi Tenzan, Toriyano going up against Bullet Club's Dick Togo, Taiji Ishimori, Yujiro Takahashi, and Evil. So, um, I mean, with Toru Yano, you got a good chance at winning, but I think something tells me probably Bullet Club will take this first one. I think they'll probably take this first one, but it should be interesting. Second match is a six-man tag. Kazuchika Okada teams up with Roppongi 3K, Sho and Yo, to take on El Desperado, Minoru Suzuki, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. This actually should be a good match. This should be a really good match. This should be a good match. It's hard to pick. It's hard to pick who wins in this. Maybe Okada, Sho, and Yo win this, but I don't know. This one's kind of hard to pick. This one's hard to pick. Yeah, this one's hard to pick. Okay. We got another 8-man tag match afterwards. We got LIJ, Bushi, Sanada, Tetsuya Naito, Shingo Takagi, pretty much all of LIJ going up against the complete United Empire: Jeff Cobb, Aaron Henare, Great-O-Khan, and Will Ospreay. This one could probably go either way, but something tells me United Empire probably is going to win. Yeah. But it could go either way. It could go either way. Let's see. Next up we have let's see. So we got a singles match, but the winner of this singles match will gain the rights to challenge for the IWGP Tag Team titles. So we got Suzuki Gun's Zack Sabre Jr. versus Tanga Loa of Gorillas of Destiny of Bullet Club. So with this one, I don't know. I'm gonna say Zack Sabre Jr. wins this. Yeah, I'm gonna say Zack Sabre Jr. wins this. Yeah, I think he's gonna win this. Uh, and then next we have the Iron Finger from Hell ladder match. Taichi, so the other half of Dangerous Tekkers, against the other half of Gorillas of Destiny, Tamatanga. Ooh. I'm gonna say Tamatanga because Zack Sabre Jr. I think wins the first match. I think Tamatanga wins the second one. Just to be fair, I'm just gonna throw that out there. Just to be fair. And then the main event of this first night, Never Openweight Championship. Hiroshi Tanahashi defends against Switchblade Jay White. So this is Tanahashi's second defense of this title. I mean, there's been a lot of back and forth between these two. So maybe this is how you get a championship title back on Jay White. Maybe this is how you do it. Have him take out the ace. I mean, I like both of these competitors, but I don't know. Maybe this is where Jay White gets a title back around his waist. So, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. But I could be wrong. But yeah. So that's night one. That'll be this Monday, and then night two. Let's see. Let's take a look at night two. All right, starting off with night two, we got a six-man tag. Suzuki Guns, Doki, Zack Sabre Jr., Taichi going up against Jado, Tanga Loa, and Tamatanga. So this was originally the matchup, I believe, from the first night of Wrestling Satsuma no Kuni. So they're pretty much going to redo that match. So hopefully this time there'll be a clear winner instead of a DQ. So this should be good. Hopefully we get a clear winner between these two factions, and these either of these two could win, to be honest. So yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely see. All right. Next up, we got Sho, one half of Roppongi 3K, and Kazuchika Okada tag team match against Yoshinobu Kanemaru and Minoru Suzuki. Oh, this should be good. This should be actually a pretty even matchup. I think it's a pretty even matchup. Um, yeah, we'll have to see how this goes. This one could go either way. This one could definitely go either way. This could be a sleeper. Could be a sleeper. Next match we got another trios match. Lij's Bushi, Sanada, and Tetsuya Naito going up against United Empire's Jeff Cobb, Aaron Hanare, and the Great O'Karn. Um, I think with this one it's going to depend on what happens. And from their 8-man tag and night one, I think that's probably going to determine the outcome of this one. So I'm gonna stay neutral on that. Uh, Fourth match, we have a 10-man tag. So we got Master Wato, Ryusuke Taguchi, Hiroyoshi Tenzan, Toru Yano, and Hiroshi Tanahashi going up against Bullet Club's Dick Togo, Taiji Ishimori, Yujiro Takahashi, Evil, and Jay White. Dang, Bullet Club's pretty stacked. I'd probably go with Bullet Club. Probably go with Bullet Club in this match. But I think this is another one that's going to really depend on what the outcome is from Jay White and Hiroshi Tanahashi's Never Openweight Championship match. So, yeah. All right, Desperado has his first defense of the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match against Yo of Roppongi 3K. So Yo gets his opportunity. He wants to win a singles championship. He has the chance now. But I don't believe he will defeat El Desperado. I think El Desperado deserves a good title run. You know, this is his first time winning this championship. I think he deserves a good long title run. So I expect El Desperado to be the victor in this match. And then, main event, the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match, as Will Ospreay will make his first defense of the brand spanking new title against LIJ Shingo Takagi. And like I said, Will Ospreay has had Shingo's number lately, so I don't think this will be any different, unfortunately. Like I said, I really just I like Shingo. Shingo has been a very, very strong member of LIJ. Will Ospreay's had his number. That's the only thing. So, you know, I expect Will Ospreay to win, but Shingo's gonna make him earn it. That's for sure. He's really gonna make him earn it. Let's just keep it real. But that's your 2-night cards for Wrestling Dontaku 2021 of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Looking at the rest of the schedule, they got the road to Wrestle Grand Slam coming up next weekend, and then we got a couple of Grand Slam shows. Like we got Wrestle Grand Slam in Yokohama Stadium. That I believe that's the baseball stadium. Yeah, I think that's the baseball stadium. That's Saturday, May 15th, and then they're going to do another Wrestle Grand Slam at the Tokyo Dome Saturday, May 29th. See, that weekend. So that's 2 weekends where, wow, So hold up. Let me go back. So you got Wrestle Grand Slam in Yokohama on Saturday, May 15th, which that's one day after Stardom's round two and quarterfinals of the Cinderella tournament. So you got that, then this, and then that Sunday is WrestleMania Backlash with WWE. And then you got another set of Road to Wrestle Grand Slams after the one at Yokohama Stadium. And then Wrestle Grand Slam in Tokyo Dome, uh, May 29th, Saturday, May 29th. May 29th is where the semifinals and finals of Stardom's Cinderella tournament is. And the night after that is AEW's Double or Nothing pay-per-view on May 30th. So those 2 weekends are going to be jam-packed with pro wrestling goodness. So definitely y'all keep your eyes out. So after Wrestle Grand Slam, you got the Road to Dominion. That starts up. You got Dominion at Osaka-jo Hall Sunday, June 6th. So you know that's going to be another big show, big summer show. You know, Dominion's known for being pretty big. And then after Dominion starts the Kizuna Road. So you got a lot of shows for Kizuna Road starting Monday, June 14th and lasting all the way to Friday, July 2nd. So Kizuna Road, it's going to be a lot going on there. But yeah, that's your upcoming schedule for New Japan Pro Wrestling. They're going to be busy. Going to be real busy. Should be great. Should be really great. But that is all for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Let's get into some AEW. AEW had a pretty good show this week. Adam Page suffered a loss, something he hasn't had in a while, and he lost at the hands of the Machine, Brian Cage, which on paper is an upset, but it's not like Brian Cage is a chump. Let's just keep it real. Brian Cage is a beast. You know, he's still excellent in the ring. Dude is a beast. So the loss doesn't surprise me. It really doesn't surprise me. And I don't think it hurts Adam Page that much. I think ultimately what it comes down to, and me and some friends were talking about this, I think ultimately what it comes down to, I'm not even so sure that they're going to build up Kenny Omega versus Adam Page for Double or Nothing. They might wait until after Double or Nothing, but it still remains to be seen. Because remember, Adam Page and Kenny Omega have a lot of unfinished business, so to speak. They have a lot of history and, you know, sort of unfinished business. So, I don't know. It looks like they may wait before really pulling the trigger on Adam Page versus Kenny Omega, because you know it's going to happen eventually. I just don't know if they're going to save it for Double or Nothing or if they're going to wait until afterwards. Because, you know, Double or Nothing's the end of this month. So they don't really have a whole lot of time. So, but yeah, that's what I think this loss may signify, that they may not just be ready to pull the trigger on Omega versus Page just yet. But Brian Cage, FTW champion, gets a big victory on Adam Page. So we'll see how they follow up with that. Of course, match was thrown down. Eddie Kingston versus Michael Nakazawa, which that came on later. The Seidel brothers had an opportunity against the Young Bucks. Of course, they had to beat the Young Bucks in order to get the tag title shot. Fortunately, did not end up happening. But I thought it was pretty funny, though, that Matt Jackson used the Johnny Cage split nut punch that he does in Mortal Kombat. He actually did that. Like, I mean, legit Johnny Cage split nut punch. Like, oh my goodness. That was so funny. But yeah, he did that to Mike Seidel. They hit him then with a BTE trigger, got the victory, but yo, that was shout out to Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat because that was spot on. That was spot on. But afterwards, SCU of Frankie Kazarian and Christopher Daniels came out, and you know they state the claim that they're number one contenders, and they're gonna want their tag title shot. But here's the thing: a lot is on the line. They win, they become tag team champions for the first time. Well, no, not for the first time, because remember, SCU won the belts. I mean, they had the whole Freebird rule, and Christopher Daniels was out, had suffered an injury from a pile driver, so it was really Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. But they win, they become tag champs. They lose. Kazarian and Daniels split for good. So, honestly, they might as well go ahead and sign this title match for Double or Nothing. I think they should go ahead and sign this tag title match for Double or Nothing. Make it more impactful. Make it a lot more meaningful, especially with the stipulation in line. So I think they need to book this SCU Young Bucks Double or Nothing for the AEW World Tag Team titles. I think they need to go ahead and book that for Double or Nothing. And at least they have some time to build that up in these coming weeks leading up to Double or Nothing. Penta El Cierro Mero had a match with Orange Cassidy. And of course, it was funny. Alex Abrantes tried to get on the mic once again. That backfired. And then, of course, this time, Orange Cassidy was able to get the victory on Penta El Cierro Mero. It was interesting. He used the mic for the orange punch onto Penta. So best friends using a little cheap shenanigans. But I mean, I get it, totally get it. It was pretty funny though. It was a very entertaining match. I just thought it was funny that Penta had Orange Cassidy in a submission, and he was trying his best to get his hand into his pocket. So I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, it was a very entertaining match. These two definitely did well together. So kudos. They had the parlay of the Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle in the middle of the ring. So great promos from both sides. But Jericho, once again, Chris Jericho shows why he's one of the most charismatic wrestlers in the business. And the dude is gold on the mic. Always has been. So, and they've gone ahead and they've verbally given Pinnacle the advantage for this match at Blood and Guts. So we know by default that Pinnacle will get the advantage. So yeah, this should be really, really interesting, and I'm looking forward to it. We got Blood and Guts coming up this week, this coming Wednesday, so should be good. Should be really good. Had Eddie Kingston versus Michael Nakazawa. Of course, things kind of went out of hand. Kingston hit the back fist from the future, was getting ready to break Michael Nakazawa's ankle, but Kenny Omega came out and apparently Eddie Kingston threatened Kenny Omega that he was going to break Nakazawa's ankle unless he got in the ring. But of course, Omega was like, hey, shoot. Nakazawa knew what he signed up for. Shoot, go ahead, do it. I don't care. He knows what he signed up for. But out comes Jon Moxley. Well, Eddie Kingston did order Brandon Cutler to come out. But Jon Moxley came out with Brandon Cutler, pretty much tossed him out. And then out comes Moxley, puts the sleeper on the Kenny Omega. And then instead of Michael Nakazawa with the chair, they put the chair on Kenny Omega's ankle and pretty much was about to stomp on it and bust up Kenny Omega's ankle. But Mr. Don Callis comes out and pretty much Eddie Kingston had to pretty much talk Don Callis into giving him and Moxley a match. Kenny Omega, Michael Nakazawa versus Mox and Kingston next week. And even with after some hesitation, Don Callis agreed. He accepted, he agreed, because otherwise they were going to bust up Kenny Omega's ankle. So there you go. The match is on for next week, Blood and Guts. So, good stuff. There's a backstage interview with Christian Cage and Taz, or with Taz, but then out comes Christian Cage, and of course they exchange words, and you know, it'll be interesting to see how that feud continues. But Chris Statlander versus Penelope Ford. Chris Statlander capitalizing once again and was able to get another victory with the Big Bang Theory. She's been on a roll. She's been on a roll since returning from injury. So Chris Statlander building up that stock, building up those wins. And who knows? It'll probably be a matter of time before she gets a AEW Women's World Championship title match at some point. Regardless of if Sheeta or Britt Baker, which I think will be Britt Baker, that'll be the champ at the time. But we'll see. We'll see. We had a trios match as well. Nightmare Family versus The Factory. So the Nightmare Family was Dustin Rhodes, Billy Gunn, Lee Johnson. Factory was QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, and Nick Camarado. And, you know, this match was going pretty well until Anthony Ogogo hit gut punches on Lee Johnson and Billy Gunn. And of course, QT Marshall afterwards was able to get the pin on Lee Johnson. But seriously. And not only that, Billy Gunn's ribs were taped up after a gut punch he suffered last time. Like, I'm sorry, but they are overplaying and overhyping this gut punch from Anthony Ogogo. I mean, I understand that he was a boxer, but really? Just one gut punch? Like, when he had his first match, dude hit the jobber with a gut punch and the ref had to stop the match. Like, really? From a gut punch? They are overplaying this so badly. And it looks cheesy. It looks really cheesy. But, Billy Gunn's sons came out. Austin and Colton came out to the rescue. But then, as QT Marshall was getting ready to exit via the Nightmare Bucks, Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, comes out, attacks QT Marshall, and it even went all the way to the point where they were on top of the bus, and Cody Rhodes with a figure four on QT Marshall. Just steady tapping out. Steady tapping out. So, Nightmare Family with the last laugh. But not only that, it was announced that Cody gets a match with QT next week on Blood and Guts. So that match is also booked for Blood and Guts. So good stuff. Good stuff. Miro flat out destroyed Kip Sabian backstage. I mean, there weren't any words, just flat out destruction. And also, he shut a door on Kip Sabian's hand, and ugh. Yeah, Miro straight up mopped the floor with Kip Sabian like it was nothing. Sad. Penelope Ford loses the match. Kip Sabian gets destroyed by Miro. It was not a good night for the happy couple. Not only that, it was also announced that on May 12th on Dynamite, so not this week, but the following week, Jon Moxley is going to be defending the IWGP United States Championship against legendary Yuji Nagata, who I have met. Great guy. Watched him ever since WCW. But yeah, so Yuji Nagata will be on AEW soil Wednesday, May 12th. So get excited. The championship's going to be defended on AEW Dynamite. Gotta love it. Definitely gotta love it. So it's Mox versus Nagata-san. Should be good. Should be really good. And then another main event. TNT Championship in the main event being defended once again. This time it was Darby Allin versus Dark Order's number 10. And this was really good match. Like, Darby Allin's been putting on solid matches with whoever his opponents are in these main event matches. And this was definitely no different. 10, there were a lot of close near falls. 10 had the full Nelson on Darby Allin, but he was able to kick off the turnbuckle and flip back to reverse it to get the 3 count pin to retain the TNT title. And of course, even in the midst of it, Darby Allin looked like he was trying to rip off the mask of number 10. So it just, yeah, it was weird. It was really weird. But, they fist pounded. They were cool after the match, which was really weird because usually anybody that tries to rip off the mask is usually a big sign of disrespect, and yet they fist bumped afterwards. That didn't make any sense to me, in all honesty, because usually ripping off a mask is like an ultimate sign of disrespect. So, yeah, that was weird. But and of course Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky come out with the sneak attacks, and Scorpio Sky even got the heel hook on Sting, and everything was going bad for Sting and Darby Allin, but 10 and Lance Archer, Lance Archer showed up. They ran Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page out, which I still don't like that tag team. I don't like it. But overall, I gotta give AEW credit. They've been consistently having this TNT championship defended. Darby Allin's been defending it in the main event the last couple of times. So I really love what they're doing, especially taking Jungle Boy and Darby Allin, putting them in the main event. Like, I really like what AEW is doing. Really mixing in variety with a lot of these TNT um, challengers for the title. And just Darby Allin's been eating up that main event spot and been doing good. Been doing good. Gotta give them credit. Gotta give AEW credit. We're seeing variety in the main events. We're seeing that TNT title defended consistently. I mean, that was what? Darby Allin's ninth or 10th defense, I believe? Either that or he's dang on close to it. So, really liking what I'm seeing. Loving what I'm seeing. So, kudos to AEW. But yeah, that's it for AEW. Like I said, next week is Blood and Guts. Should be really good. Should be really good. All right, now we're gonna finish up with some WWE. Of course, I'm saving the best for last. Raw. So, pretty much what they did on Raw last week, they turned around and did again, except different competitors. Last week they had Drew McIntyre versus Mason T-Bar handicap match. That ended in a disqualification. Drew came down to help, and then it turned into a tag team match. Well, and then that ended by disqualification. So now this time, pretty much the same start. Braun Strowman, 2-on-1 handicap match. Mason T-Bar, ended by disqualification. Drew McIntyre came down to help, became a tag team match. The only difference now is this ended with Mason T-Bar winning via a countout. WWE Creative is just lazy. That's just really lazy. Like, just no variety or anything, no way to mix it up. Just, oh, we're going to take the same competitors and just, but instead of starting off with Drew in a handicap match, we're going to make Braun Strowman do the handicap match. But we're still going to get that same tag team match afterwards. Like, just, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Damian Priest teamed up with the New Day, got a victory over the Miz, Elias, Jackson Riker. That's cool, I guess. Yeah, that's cool, I guess. Uh, Sonya Deville makes an appearance on Raw. Let Charlotte Flair not only back into the building, but Charlotte Flair has now been reinstated. Although suspended indefinitely, fined $100,000, which they claim she paid in full. And then pretty much apologized to the ref, made the ref apologize to her. And after 1 week, she's reinstated, despite being suspended indefinitely and fined for beating up a ref after a match. And just like that, we get Charlotte Flair back. Like I said, I kid you not, this is going to end up being Rhea Ripley defending the Raw Women's title against Charlotte and Asuka triple threat at Backlash. I'm telling, that's most likely what's going to end up happening. Especially considering Charlotte didn't have a match at WrestleMania. This is totally what's going to happen. And it's like, yeah. And then I wouldn't be surprised if Charlotte wins and becomes 14-time champion. And then after that, she's only 2 away from tying her father. Not only that, Sonya Deville says that Charlotte Flair will be action, and of course it ended up being that she was going to take on Mandy Rose. Isn't that ironic? Why am I not surprised about that? Mandy Rose is her opponent. Yeah. Okay, Sonya. And then Sheamus, open challenge once again. Humberto Carrillo. Same thing that happened last week. The only difference is Humberto Carrillo ended up with the as the last man standing. But still, y'all can't even give Humberto Carrillo a match. Y'all can't even give him a legit match. Just 2 weeks in a row, just with him answering the challenge and getting ambushed, and it doesn't even lead to a match. It's like, dang, can y'all at least give him a match? I mean, it won't surprise me if it's a squash, but dang, can the dude get a match? I'm not saying he's gonna end up winning, but can the dude get a legit match? Can he get a match? Can he get a match? Randy Orton and Matt Riddle teamed up supposedly as RK Bro, which, yeah. And Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander are fed to the both of them. Oh, man. So is Randy Orton a face now? Like, oh my god. Cedric and Shelton can't even get their own ring entrances anymore. They can't even get ring entrances. RK Bro. And watch, it's probably going to only be a matter of time before Randy Orton turns on Matt Riddle and RKO's him, and then, back to a heel. Rhea Ripley. The champions team up together. Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax, and Shayna Baszler teamed up and defeated Asuka, Naomi, and Lana. Even had a moment where Mandy and Dana came out, splashed water on Shayna. Nia slipped through the puddle. Even despite a moment of embarrassment, Rhea, Nia, and Shayna still got the victory, which, honestly, so this is what Asuka's being reduced to. It's already bad enough that Asuka couldn't even get a legit title run, being that she was too busy holding the hands of Lana and Charlotte Flair. And now, whatever. I mean, the champs won tonight, or that night, but just. Asuka's probably going to eventually be lost in the shuffle. After she has her title shot in the triple threat, she's going to get lost in the shuffle. And then probably something crazy is going to happen. Io Shirai to Raw. Oh, we're just going to pair Io Shirai with Asuka. Triple Tails reunion. I don't know. I don't know what Raw's doing. Charlotte Flair beat Mandy Rose. Not surprised. I mean, yeah. Braun Strowman defeated Drew McIntyre. Of course, with the help from Bobby Lashley, Mason, T-Bar, and MVP. Or at least, I'm sorry, they were trying to help Drew McIntyre because the stipulation was if Braun was able to defeat Drew, then Braun gets added to the title match at WrestleMania Backlash. It becomes a triple threat, and that's surely what ended up happening. They were trying to thwart Braun Strowman by helping Drew McIntyre, but didn't work. And now WrestleMania Backlash, WWE title will be decided in a triple threat. Lashley, McIntyre, Strowman. Yeah. Yeah. NXT. NXT was alright. Could have been better. NXT was alright. I'm hoping to see another match with Saray soon. Mercedes Martinez went up against Dakota Kai. It was looking like she was about to beat her. Then Raquel Gonzalez came in and assaulted her. Beat the mess out of Mercedes. I mean, badly. She was throwing her against the walls and the plexiglass and just, oh, I mean, she beat the crap out of Mercedes Martinez. I'm like, how you gonna beat up your Latina sister like that? Why you gonna do that, Raquel? That's your Latina sister. You were even trash talking her in Spanish. Oh man, that's crazy. Um, had some words exchanged between grizzled young veterans and Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. The Toothless Man is back. Toothless Timmy. Toothless Timmy is back. Um, a big upset took place as Zeta Ramir defeated Tony Storm after hitting a very nice, well executed shooting star press. Of course, Zoe Stark had the distraction, but Zeta Ramir, after hitting a shooting star press, pins Tony Storm. So it looks like we're definitely not done between Zoe Stark and Tony Storm. Of course, remember, Zoe Stark does have a victory over Tony Storm. So that's two back-to-back losses from Tony Storm. And this Zeta Ramir, I don't know her that well. I looked up her Twitter and such. Looks like she's got a little bit of experience. She's a youngin, but that was a beautiful shooting star press that she hit. I mean, spot on, spot on. Uh, Bronson Reed earned another North American Championship opportunity. Was able to defeat Austin Theory. Of course, Indy Hartwell looked dejected, but I mean, it's obvious that the other members of the Way are pretty much manipulating this whole scenario. I mean, they had the flowers and the chocolates sent to Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart saying it was from Dexter Loomis. So I mean, they're doing the same thing that they did with the therapy session with Austin Theory when he had the whole situation with Dexter Loomis. So it's really Gargano and Candice doing all the manipulating. So it's just a matter of time before everything blows up and Indy leaves the Way. Probably won't be anytime soon, but it's gonna blow up eventually. Imperium was able to defeat Killian Dane and Drake Maverick. Um, there was a moment of hesitation from Alexander Wolf. Was going to hit a chair onto Killian Dane, but hesitated. We got to remember, Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf were part of Sanities. They have a lot of history together. It makes me wonder if they're gonna do something with that going forward, because things aren't really looking too well between Drake Maverick and Killian Dane. So I have to see. I have to see what happens. We'll have to see what happens with that. That could get interesting. Candice and Indy beat up Ember and Shotzi. They were looking to get more gifts, so they beat them down. And apparently, they're going to get their tag title shot this coming week in a street fight. So that should be good. That should be really good. Good old street fight. Adam Cole, he had an interview, and apparently he promised that we're gonna get the best Adam Cole we've ever seen going forward. So looks like there's still more to see with Adam Cole here in NXT. And then the main event was Legado del Fantasma versus Kushida and MSK. Very high impact six-man tag. Too bad Kushida got jacked up. Kushida got jacked up. And Legado del Fantasma ended up getting the victory via the Phantom Driver on Nash Carter. But or excuse me, it was on Kushida. I'm sorry, it was on Kushida. But but I mean, it looks like at some point Santos Escobar is probably going to get a Cruiserweight Championship rematch at some point. Might be soon, but I think that's going to end up happening. I really do. Um, so one other thing I kind of wanted to talk about while we're still on NXT is one, I still wish I knew the status of Bobby Fish. If anybody knows the status of Bobby Fish, let me know. Um, but at some point, we need to think about something. Now, I understand, we got folks on NXT here that have been on here a long time. I mean, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, uh, who else? Io Shirai, Johnny Gargano. A lot of these folks have been on here for a long time. Uh, you know, Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai is another one. Candice LeRae is another one. Like, there's something we got to think about. Now, I know a lot of people, and like I said, I was like this too. I know a lot of people are like, look, we don't want a lot of these folks to get called up to the main roster and such. I get it. But at the same time, you have to also realize that it's going to get to a point where these folks are still on NXT, and the question is going to be, what more do they have to fight for on NXT? You know? What more are they going to have to fight for? Johnny Gargano is a Triple Crown champ in NXT. He's won the tag titles, he's won the North American title, and he's won the NXT title. Like, what more? Realistically, what more does Johnny Gargano really have to do in NXT? Tommaso Ciampa, tag team champ, NXT champ. Adam Cole, tag team champ, North American champ, NXT champ. Like, it's got to get to the point where we have to really ask, what more is there really left for them to do? What more is there really left for them to do? Io Shirai was NXT Women's Champion almost a whole year. I mean, it's something we got to start thinking about. Dakota Kai, which I'm not even sure if they'll even ever have Dakota Kai winning the NXT Women's Championship. I mean, she was an inaugural NXT Women's Tag Champ, but she's another one, unfortunately. Dakota Kai, been there a long time. I mean, are they really ever going to book her as Women's Champ? Candice LeRae, are they ever going to book her to be Women's Champ? So, I understand how people feel, but at some point, they're going to just have to get the bump to the main roster and just. The only thing they can do is do their best and just see how it goes. Because they're going to need to start making room for the newer talent to start to rise. So that's just something to keep in mind. Just something to keep in mind. Okay, NXT UK. We had the debut of Rohan Raja, and he took on Teoman. This did not make sense to me. Why are you going to have somebody debut against somebody else that recently debuted and is on the rise? That didn't make sense. And then now that made Rohan Raja look bad because they made it look like he got his arm snapped. And of course, referee had to stop the match. And yeah, I don't understand the booking of this. I really don't. They could have had Rohan Raja debut against somebody else, another jobber or whatnot, but you have him debut against Teoman, who recently debuted and has been on a win streak? I don't agree with that. I honestly don't agree with that. But we'll see what happens. I don't agree with that. This next move I still don't understand as well. So, Kaylee Ray. Sid Scala announced that for Kaylee Ray's next number one contender for the NXT UK Women's Championship, they're going to have a gauntlet match. And the gauntlet match is going to consist of 5 women. These 5 women are the fashionista Jenny, Isla Dawn, Zaya Brookside, Danny Luna, and the recently returning Amelia McKenzie. When are y'all gonna give Aoife Valkyrie her title shot? Which I'll get to that in a moment. But moving on, Shaw Samuels defeated Levi Muir, so Saw Samuels with a singles victory. We had Meiko Satomura versus Aoife Valkyrie. Great match, definitely a great match. But Aoife Valkyrie suffers her first singles loss in NXT UK. Showed a lot of courage, showed a lot of spirit, but ate a Scorpio Rising and fell to the final boss, the legendary Meiko Satomura. Great match, don't get me wrong. Excellent match. These two are incredible, but I don't agree with the fact of Aoife Valkyrie being fed to Meiko Satomura. I don't agree with this decision because I feel like it pushes her away from the title picture, as it just did, because she's not even in this gauntlet to determine a new number one contender. So I just. But you know what? You know what why I think this happened? Now that I think about it. So I don't know if y'all heard, but they were going to have the next NXT UK takeover was supposed to be in Dublin, Ireland. That got canceled. I don't know if they were going to eventually save Eva Valkyrie versus Kaylee Ray until a NXT UK takeover. Maybe that's what they were going for. Which, I mean, would have been big for Eva Valkyrie, being that I believe she's from Ireland. Yeah, she's from Ireland. So maybe that's what their original plan was, that we would get Eva Valkyrie, Kaylee Ray at NXT UK Takeover Dublin. But now that that's not going to happen, they may have to think of a new game plan. But it might still be that Eva Valkyrie will take the title from Kaylee Ray, just not yet. Just not yet. Because honestly, from this gauntlet, I don't really see either of these ladies coming out of this gauntlet dethroning Kaylee Ray. I think it's going to be saved for Eva Valkyrie just at the right time. And maybe this loss to Meiko Satomura, maybe it's just one of those that just they got it out of the way. They got it out of the way. I feel iffy about it. Despite it being a great match, they went ahead and got this out of the way. But yeah, we'll just have to see what they do going forward. But it should be interesting. It should be interesting. But, you know, and I like Eva Valkyrie. I've been saying that she deserves the next title shot over and over and over. Because she's been undefeated, you know, until Thursday, until Meiko Satomura. So, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. And then Gallus versus now Symbiosis. Eddie Dennis, Primate, and T-Bone are now known as Symbiosis. Okay, not really filling the name. But Gallus stands tall. Still shows why they're one of the most dominant stables on NXT UK. And Wolfgang, Joe Coffey, and Mike Coffey were able to get the victory. Or excuse me, not Mike, Mark Coffey. But yeah, still shows why they're one of the most dominant stables on NXT UK. And then there's SmackDown. Ugh. So there were only 4 matches. On SmackDown. So, pretty small. Bianca Belair and the Street Profits got one over on the Dirty Dogs and Bayley. It's good to see Bayley back in action, though. But we know for sure that Bayley and Bianca Belair will have a SmackDown Women's title match at WrestleMania Backlash. Natalya and Tamina beat Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Oh, man. So, got a victory on Raw, but then lost on SmackDown. So, yeah. Sad. Big E got yet another Intercontinental Championship title shot. And Big E got the win, but it was by disqualification. And, of course, Sami Zayn had to get involved. And even though he picked up the Intercontinental title and was looking at it and holding it funny, because, I mean, you know, he wants that title back. And, of course, he gave it back to Apollo raised up him and Commander Aziz's arms, but then got blasted with a Nigerian nail. Even though, come on, it's a Samoan spike. Umaga did it first. I mean, come on, you're not fooling anyone. Um, and then we had the Universal Championship match where, like I said, if Daniel Bryan loses, he must leave SmackDown. Well, gave it his best effort, but Roman Reigns was able to make him pass out to the guillotine choke. Roman Reigns still Universal Champion. And he made Cesaro watch. Him and Jey Uso made Cesaro watch Daniel Bryan suffer a one-man concerto. Well, and that's how they kill off Daniel Bryan. That's pretty much how they kill off Daniel Bryan. Uh, so I just think this is just going to better, more enhance the feud between Roman Reigns and Cesaro even more. So I mean, you got that, and also it's been said Roman Reigns hasn't lost on SmackDown since like 2019. So he hasn't lost a match on SmackDown since 2019. That's crazy. But he's a mega heel now, so he ain't gonna lose anytime soon. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I have for today's pro wrestling talk. It was an interesting week, but looking forward to next week. Like I said, we got AEW, we got Blood and Guts, we got Wrestling Dontaku. Um, we got. I mean, yeah, those are the two main things we got coming up, and then the following week, of course, more Cinderella tournament action, more WWE action because you got WrestleMania Backlash. So it's a lot to look forward to. A lot to look forward to. But anyway, what did y'all think about everything we discussed today? Leave your comments, thoughts, likes, subscribe. You know the deal. Notification bell, hit it so you don't miss a video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope everybody has a blessed weekend. This is your host of Pro Wrestling Talk, Blitzball Champ, also real name Jason Ingram. Take care. Enjoy the weekend. I will see y'all soon. Laters.